Hello and welcome to Start the Week Stamping with Linda from lindaspapercraft.co.uk. Sorry we're a bit late this morning. Had to drop middle child off at the well, it's the Euros. It's the women's Euro finals in the UK this week, and Mark is taking part in the opening ceremony. So off to rehearsals this morning. So well, here we are, and I'm going to show you something, a technique using gilding flakes. So this is completely new to me. Last week I had no idea what I was doing, so a bit of research, and I found several different ways of doing it. So I thought what I'd do is I'd share a new one. Every week I'll show you a different technique using gilding flakes, and today I'm just going to adjust my lighting. Excuse me a second. Adjust my lighting. I'm moving the lamp closer to. There we go. So today I'm going to use the double-sided sticker sheets that Stampin Up sell, and basically what I've done is I've popped some on some old olive, and then I have die cut the leaves, and this is from the Flourishing Flow. Yeah. Put it away. What have I done with it? It's just the dies that go rubbish. The dies that go with Forever Fern. Okay, so but you can do it on anything, absolutely anything, but I cut it so that the sheet was facing me. Die on top, that's the take-home point here. Doesn't matter which dies you use, and it's a bit thicker, so you might want to run it through your Big Shot a couple of times, or your die cutting machine rather. And I'm just going to take these out, and so now Stampin' Up do some gilding flakes. Unfortunately I don't have them yet. They are on their way, but like all of us, we all have these little things hidden away somewhere in our stash, and I'd bought them quite a few years ago thinking, oh, that looks like a good idea, and then never done anything else, which I think we're all guilty of. We were all in class yesterday, we were all trying to remember, no, on Friday rather, if we how many stamp sets we had that we've never used. And one of my ladies claims that she's only got one that she's never used. So, but she says as soon as she gets it, she uses it. So that's how you do it, ladies. I said, look, I don't think there's many. No, even limited edition I used yesterday. So I'm having a look. Well, on the ones I can see, I've used them all. Oh no, I know I haven't. I have not used the Gnome Christmas stamp because I've only just got it. Kindest gnomes, there you go. So anyway, in the meantime, I've taken the die cut out of the, and I'm going to keep this because if, you know, and what I do, I keep it in with the double-sided sheet, so I know that, you know, I've got a small piece of old olive with some double-sided sheet already on in case I want to use it for anything else. So, because it's not expensive, no, it's not cheap rather, and neither's the card. So, and we do keep our scraps, don't we? We're dreadful for that. Right, okay, so the next step then is probably, before you take that off, is to prepare your gilding flakes. So as I say, these aren't Stampin' Up ones, but you can get them from Stampin' Up. And these, they are incredibly frisky, these things. They get everywhere, as we found out in class both yesterday and on Friday. So I always have now big box. So I've got all my, you can see if I shake those about, they are so light, so light. So I'm actually going to pop the lid back on these and start with the ones that are in the box. I might add some more to it. Okay, but the box it just keeps them a bit more contained, so it's a bit easier. So we'll put our box to one side and we will take off. To some extent, this is the trickiest bit, getting the other bit, the other side of the backing off your sticky. There we go. Okay, and try not to touch the sticky too much, because every time you touch it with a finger, it will reduce its stickiness. So there we go. So I've now got some leaves that are completely sticky. And what I'm going to do is pop it in here, and I'm actually going to press the Gilding Flakes onto the Stickiness. So now these, they are quite dusty, so I'm going to get some bigger ones out. So just put it down there and get some of these, and look, they just come in massive handfuls and escape everywhere. So they do take a little bit. I am not going to leave that lid off. I think the main reason I haven't used these actually is because I'm not massively into messy crafts. So, yes, I'm a card maker who doesn't like glitter. We're definitely split amongst fellow card makers who do and who don't. So what I'm doing now is I'm just rubbing those glimmer flakes into my die cut to make sure that the whole of the stickiness is covered. So you don't want to be able to feel any sticky when you're rubbing on here. Okay, so then I'm going to put that down. And you need to get as much as you can off your hands, which is easier said than done. See, this is why I've never used glimmer flakes, but actually it's really, they are really easy to clean up and they hoover up beautifully. I discovered yesterday and Friday when I was doing my class. Okay, so got the worst off. Let's find our die cut. I'm just going to get some more of those bits off, and then there we go. So how beautiful is that? Not. Okay, so I am going to pop my lids back on, because as I say, you can see it has got everywhere. So you do need to handle them with care. No sneezing, no coughing. Don't do it with the window open. The slightest breeze will send them flying. Okay, so finish pressing them all down. Oh, I did detect a sticky bit there. Somewhere around there was a sticky bit, so I'm just adding a bigger flake from elsewhere. Okay, so just pressing down, making sure it's all covered. Okay. And then I'm getting one of my old blending brushes. Now with the new Stampin' Up blending brushes, these blending brushes have been thoroughly retired. So you could probably do it with one of the new ones, but I don't want to be getting glimmer flakes in my new Stampin' Up blending brushes. So what I'm going to do is use one of my old blending brushes, which again we've probably all got somewhere. So, but Stampin' Up sponge would work really well as well. And all I'm going to do is just burnish. And I'm just brushing off the excess, and you'll start to see the shapes of the leaves. And I'm being very gentle because obviously it's quite a gentle die cut. It's quite a fragile, probably more than gentle. See, I breathed. Don't breathe. Now, I'm new, as I say, to blending, to glimmer flakes. And what I did when I was learning how to use them is I just put all of it back in the box. But actually, you don't want the dust. You really don't. You just want the flakes. So what I'm going to do here, once I've taken off all of that, oops, one of the bristles from the brush there. Okay, so once I've got all the excess off, I'm just polishing now with the brush. As I say, not breathing too hard, it's a little bit loose there. Okay. And there we go. So my next top tip with this is when you've finished, so there's 1 or 2 big flakes, but you get loads in a bag, and I am just going to scoop that all up and throw it away because I don't want all this dust back in my flakes because they're not flakes. So, stay to my nails. I am just trying to control this as best I can. See, it's still coming everywhere. Fold it in, fold it in, fold it in. Might have been better to fold the piece of paper in half before I started, and then I could have folded it all in on itself, because I still ended up with a load of flakes. So, just going to pop those in my bin. And then I've got a dry cloth under it. There we go. Okay, so I've got rid of most of it. There we go. Right, and there we have our finished gilded leaf. How cute is that? So then I use that to put on the front of a card, and this is the finished card. Okay, so that's gilding with Gilding Flakes. Still 1 or 2 little edges on this, so you probably spend a little bit more time than I have. But how cute is that? It's absolutely gorgeous. It's really shiny. And the Stampin' Up ones are lovely because they're just gold, so they really, really do sparkle. Okay, so that's tip 1. I'll be back next week with tip 2. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.